Alright, let's jump right into it with this pre-market analysis for Tuesday, October 22nd. This is just me charting out some levels for the day to keep my eye on to see if price gives me a good reaction for an entry on a trade. My overall bias for the day was bearish, so going into the open I was looking for an entry for shorts, and we'll see how that played out in a second. We ended up pushing long, and it finally broke through one of my levels and retested it, so that was a perfect entry for my strategy. So we got in half position and we waited to see if we can add to the position or if we just called a good move and could hit full TB. It ended up coming back, which kind of sucked, but it held strong above the 28 EMA. So from there I felt confident enough to add full size to my position and let the trade ride out. And unfortunately, I got scared and it didn't work out so well. And I ended up closing early when I should not have. Getting into the journal session, this is where we're going to record our stats as well as put any screenshots and notes. There was 3 trades taken. The first one I didn't get any footage of, and the second one was the video that you saw, and the third trade was stupid, so there's no footage of it at all. The first trade was respecting my bias to the downside. It was just right at the open, so I got in and it spiked me out. And then the long was an early exit that wasn't supposed to happen, so I did not follow my strategy on the second trade. Everything about the trade was perfectly fine and within the parameters that I have in my strategy. I literally just allowed myself to get too scared at the moment while it was pulling back in drawdown, and I closed early just for it to run up without me. And then the third trade was just an impulsive trying to catch a reversal. So as soon as I got out of those longs, I jumped in short and it wrecked me immediately. And that was my day. So going into the next day, this is our pre-market analysis for Wednesday, October 23rd. Same thing, just looking for supply and demand zones as well as key levels to watch out for during this session. And today, again, my bias was bearish, so we were looking for entries for shorts. So we got a decent push to the top side of our demand zone, and it actually held, so that's when I jumped in some shorts. And upon the push lower, I felt confident in it, so I added full position, and then we let that bitch ride out. Nicked us out a bit too early, so we jumped right back in because I really did feel confident in my analysis and I wanted to see it drop. It took its sweet time, but eventually it gave us the drop we deserved, and we caught a W on that trade. I was a little bit greedy. We went back and moved the target profit a little lower so that we can make back what we lost in the first trade as well as full profit. I noticed that my analysis played out beautifully. So this is what the chart looked like later in the session. This was my analysis. And then this is what eventually happened as well. Killed it. The analysis was perfect for Wednesday. We had the break, the pullback for the retest of the zone, and then just straight dumped. Now going into that during the session, the loss that we took at the beginning of the day, some screenshots and then some notes. I do think I managed that trade pretty well. So in retrospect, I gave it a 5 out of 5 rating. It's just a loss. Sometimes it happens. And we jumped jumped right back in because we felt confident. And then here I'm just showing y'all the pictures from the losing trade that I want to keep track of. And then this is me entering the stats and notes for the winning trade. I personally felt like I did a really good job on that trade because it was choppy as shit at the beginning and I held through it. Not like the day before where I got out early for no real reason because it wasn't even going to hit my stop loss. And then here's some pictures from the winning trade, and then that's the day. So moving into today, Thursday's session, this was me recording myself doing the morning analysis as we do every day, and I still was extremely bearish on the day, especially considering the fact that it just previously tapped and rejected support, now turned resistance zone that I have there marked out. I found some more zones to target as well as key levels to watch out for on the day. So shortly after I did my analysis, I noticed it was actually giving me the rejection that I was looking for right at the key level of 20,402, and upon seeing that rejection, I got in half position. We had a nice pullback again to 402, so I jumped in full position and moved my stops appropriately, and then we just waited to see when we got the break below. We started getting the push down. Once we broke down below the recent low of the day, that's when I moved stops to break even and just let the trade ride out. And luckily, right at the open at 9:30 or 9:31, we got the final push down into full take profit for the day, and that was the trade. So jumping into the journal session for the day, I actually forgot to record myself actually typing it out and putting my pictures in there. I just put the screenshots in there of my analysis for the day, and then my entry, my ad, and the trade in itself. And as for the notes, I just talked about how I noticed price action giving me exactly what I wanted to see in my analysis. So I took the risk and I took the trade. So all around 5 out of 5 in my honest opinion. And this is the last trade of my 100K combine. So it took us 12 trades over the course of 4 days in order to pass this 100K combine, going to $6,000 in profit. I'm pretty proud about that. I thought it was going to take a bit longer. So I'm really happy that I got these results. I've genuinely been enjoying doing this process of recapping my trades, recording them, and posting them on my Instagram, my Discord, and putting the videos together for YouTube. So I hope I can keep this up forever, really, even when I become profitable and eventually become full-time with this. It's pretty fun, and if I help people along the way, that's just a bonus. So thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned.